So we're celebrating National Car Collectors Day right here in Mandan, North Dakota, home of National Day Calendar, but it's also home to Buggies and Blues. And we have a special guest. So excited to meet up with him.
Who's the special
You
guest?
are going to find out a little bit later.
All right, well, I got something up my sleeve too.
I'm Marlo Anderson, founder of National Day Calendar. I've teamed up with Latoya Johnson to show you some of the best places to celebrate every day across the country. Join us to discover new places and learn fun facts about your favorite days on Destination Celebration.
All right, Steve, I gotta know about this vehicle behind us. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, it's a 2007 Peterbilt. It's a 379 is what they call it. It's got a Cummins diesel in it and a 13-speed transmission. I want to do a truck that kind of represents the Industrial Revolution era, but be modern enough to where I can drive it down the freeway at, 75 miles an hour.
Yep.
I got this newer one because I was going to develop these stacks that are on it and tanks, and we were going to go into production on maybe building some stacks. Through the process, I realized they are a lot of work and there are a lot to do. Right now, I'm just having fun with the truck, and it's a little bit longer wheelbase than my other truck. It'll haul more weight. It's just a bigger truck all the way around.
Your name for the truck?
El Diablo Loco.
You left Vegas to come to Mandan, North Dakota. This isn't like driving across town, is it? This is an adventure in itself.
So I know the eastern part of the state of Montana, but then I realized that it's another like 7 hours, over 8 hours this way from there.
Tell me a little bit about when you stop and people's reaction to seeing the truck.
Now when I pull up, I just stay in my truck before I get out, if people are crowding around it, and then I check all my messages. If you got to get fuel and you're there for more than 20 minutes, yeah, it's starting to crowd up. And the old truckers, they're like,
I can about imagine.
This is cool. This is trucking right here,
Yeah.
That's what I really like about the classic of a Kenworth or a Peterbilt is they're very classic. They stayed classic, and they're trying to, even though they have those aerodynamic trucks too, it's like, I'm never going to drive one, I just can't.
Inspiration. What gives you inspiration when you're building something like this?
Being told I can't do it. That's always
You look like that kind of guy. Yeah.
And coming with a vision of something that's really in my blood. Like I said, I really love that Industrial Revolution era when things were really mechanical and being built back then, with hard work. We drove over here in an EV today and I wouldn't even know where to start. It's like if this thing breaks down, I can pretty much figure it out.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
You were able to drive the EV earlier. I expect that I get to drive your truck later.
Oh yeah. That thing's only got one gear. You just, and it goes. It doesn't matter.
I might have to have a class or two then.
Yeah. The EV is definitely a lot easier to drive. I've drove some of the most insane mechanical things in my life, and I don't even know how to start this car.
Isn't that funny?
Let's get it.
Engine is, oh my God. I actually got a little dizzy there. It's like the blood's going to my head. What do you think about other power or other fuels, like maybe propane or hydrogen or any of those? Have you played with any of those at all?
You know what I would love to see? Steam. I love steam.
Steve, why do you think people have so much passion for classic cars?
We love it because when I was a kid, I had to work so hard to have a car. Like I had to work to get a car, and then when I got a car, I had to work on the car. The love of being able to go out there and have the pride that I paid for that. And yeah, it's a piece of junk, but I'm gonna fix it and I'm gonna make this thing run. I loved cars because I want it to represent who I am. And I think that like a lot of the classic car guys that are here today, this is something that they're putting their heart and soul into. These guys that build these cars, they go home and they lay in bed and they think about them every night. And they think about what they're gonna do different or how they're gonna do this or whatever. But what we're losing now is we're losing that passion for automobiles because automobiles have become disposable. They're not really worth anything at the end of the day. And that's why classic car people love their cars.
Hello?
You are not going to believe this. I
just went about town with Steve Darnell.
What?
I know, it's so fantastic. Really enjoying Car Collector's Day so far. How about you?
I just pulled up to Rides. I'm about to go check out their showroom and see what I can find. We're at Rides and we're learning about old muscle and new muscle. Let's go. Okay, Bob, I'm so excited to be here. One, because I want to drive one of your cars, but also because I want to know, how did you get into this? Like, what's the history behind it?
Long story. I was born a Honda kid, like Fast and the Furious. Really got me into cars, broke the cycle, and then I came up here and started learning about classic cars. I love it. Now I'm stuck between both worlds of like carbureted big blocks and turbocharged little 4-cylinders. So I'm in between, but I love classics. They have my heart.
Is it mostly classic cars?
It is mostly classics. We do a couple exotics every once in a while, but mostly classics and like new modern muscle.
What is the thing between like the 60s and 70s? Why is that era so huge when it comes to classic cars?
So that 66 to 72 muscle car era is just, it's untouchable. It's so nostalgic. You know, you had GM, you had Ford, you had Dodge, all trying to pull big power out of big motors. They all wanted to do something a little bit different, and it was cool to watch them all compete. And I think it made such a staple in history that it just continues on with generations. They still hold a special place in my heart.
Old muscle versus new muscle.
I love being able to jump into modern muscle, like newer, and just put it in drive and go and have all the creature features and a comfortable ride.
Yes.
But at the same time, like jumping in 66 to 72 muscle car and pumping the gas and hearing it fire and the smell and the sound of a cammed engine, it's untouchable.
Since we're celebrating today in this world, out of all your cars in here, which one would you take and how would you celebrate it?
Oh, probably a 69 Camaro. That is modern upgrades. It's an LS2 motor, so it's all fuel injections, about a 500 horsepower car. Probably a big greasy burnout down here.
Yes.
Nice big greasy burnout, and then just take it out, enjoy the open road. This is what it was meant for. It's got a modern transmission, so you can drive 80 miles an hour. It's not going to be all wound up.
Wow.
Made to drive and enjoy.
I love that. Well, I'm excited. I'm ready to finish celebrating National Classic Car Day, so can we go get in the car?
Right now?
Yes, right now. Right now. Right now. All right, let's go. Come on.
This was an amazing Collector Cars Day.
It was.
I spent my day with Steve Darnell.
I know. How was that?
It was crazy. And we even got him in an EV, an electric vehicle, and went for a ride. That was the most exhilarating ride I've ever been on.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
He really is.
And I checked out a few collector cars myself.
Yeah? Did you find anything you like?
Oh my gosh, I fell in love. I actually think I'm going to become a collector.
Nice.